All right, take 256. What's up, group leader? Hope you're doing well. I hope you had an awesome Thanksgiving. You're receiving this little video message because whether you're a new group that just launched after the Live Life series ended a couple weeks ago, or you were an existing group that added some new members to it, you've been participating in this community study as part of that community experiment that we talked about during the Live Life series. Now, this should be coming to an end for you. My group has, I think, 2 sessions left. Maybe your group only has 1 session left, depending on how many weeks you've taken off or haven't been able to meet since we started this. But I wanted to cast a vision for where we go from here now that this study is ending. Now, I hope, first of all, that your group will continue to meet after this study is over. And if that's not the case, then please call me or text me or email me and let me know so we can get together and talk about where we go from here. But number 2, ideally we hope that all your group members will want to stay on. Now, I know that when we talked about the 6-week community experiment, it was billed as an opportunity for people to test the waters and get their feet wet in community life by joining a group without a high level of commitment. We asked them to just check it out for 6 weeks and then, see if they liked it or not. Now, yes, I know that the study was 8 weeks and we billed it as a 6-week experiment, but that's besides the point, because our hope is that those people will have enjoyed their experience with your group so much that they'll want to continue meeting with your group. And so at your last video session, once you've watched the video and you've had a chance to discuss it, I'd like you to kind of present it this way to your group. You might want to say something like this. So that concludes our community study. We really hope you guys have enjoyed being a part of this as much as we've enjoyed going through it with all of you. We want to let you know that if you signed up for this group as part of the community experiment that we talked about during Live Life, and you're wanting to take a step back because your schedule's not conducive to allowing you to continue on with us, or maybe you want to check out other groups, we want to let you know you are more than welcome to do that. Feel no obligation at all to stay on with us, but we want to let you know that as a group we do plan on continuing to meet, and we've really enjoyed getting to know all of you, and if you've enjoyed getting to know us as well, then we would love for you to stay on with us as we continue as a group together. So say something like that. And then when you're done kind of talking about it, I'd like you to maybe take a poll of all of your group members to find out who plans on staying with the group and who plans on bowing out for whatever reason. And if you could send me a list of any names of people in your group that choose not to stay on with you, that will give me the opportunity to follow up with them to, number 1, check out how their experience was with your group, and number 2, and more importantly, to follow up with them to see if I can help them get connected somewhere else. Because that's our goal ultimately, is that we want every person that regularly attends our church to be plugged into a healthy small group. Because it's not just a cliche when we say that you can't grow spiritually without being connected relationally. That's the way the body of Christ works. And so as we connect with others in community, it helps us and puts us in an environment where we can grow in our faith and in our trust and confidence in who God is and what He has said. And so I just, again, want to thank you for partnering with me in this effort. So if you want to send that to me once you take that poll, I would really appreciate it. But that brings me to my second point, though, is that that video during the last session will also make mention of a group agreement. Now, I have a copy or an example of one right here, which will be included as an attachment in the email that the link to this video that you're watching right now was sent in. Now, it won't look exactly like this, but it'll be very similar. And what the group agreement is it outlines, number 1, the purpose for your group, which says to provide a predictable environment where participants pursue healthy relationships and spiritual growth. Number 2, it outlines the values and goals for your group, such as relationships, authenticity, confidentiality, and respect, and so on. And thirdly, it outlines the group guidelines. Things like, this group will meet on this day of the week from this time to this time and this frequently. And then it asks each person of the group to sign this. And what that does is it kind of formalizes a person's commitment to the group and helps them take it more seriously. And as they have signed a document that says, it's even one of the guidelines. It says group members will attend and participate on a regular basis. And so I would like for you to do that. Now, one of the things on here that it talks about in the group guidelines is that it says this group will be closed unless all members agree to add new members. Now, I'm mostly in favor of that. I am a proponent of closed groups. However, I would like for you to consider yourselves to be semi-closed but open until you reach at least 14 people. Because if all of our groups right now said we're closed and not adding any new members, we're basically just sticking our noses up at anybody else that would come to our church that says, I want to get connected, I want to find a small group to start attending. Because, we want to make sure we've got our arms open and we're willing to invite new people in that are looking for that same sense of community that you've had the joy of discovering with your group members so far. And so I would like you to just let me know if you're on board with that and if you're okay with that. And then once you reach 14 people, I know it can be difficult to maintain a small group dynamic once you get above that number. And so just let me know if you're cool with that. Again, one of the things on here too, the values and goals that it talks about is multiplication. Part of this, a closed group model, is that you would agree to be a group for a definitive amount of time, usually 18 to 24 months. Now, I would like to ask that you as a group agree to continue meeting for at least the next year into the end of 2015, if not the first or second semester of 2016. If you recall from earlier this year, I sent an email out that talked about the semester-based approach that we are going to with 3 semesters a year and seasonal breaks in between each semester. And so a strategic end date that you could pick for your group would be the end of one of those semesters, so that at the end of that time you will then multiply as a group, because one of your goals that you've agreed to as a group leader is to embrace group leader apprenticeship and multiplication as a measurement of success. So what we want to do is create more opportunities for more people in our church to experience the same joy of community that you have had the pleasure of experiencing. And so, again, if you could just reply to this email or shoot me a text or give me a call to get together and talk and let me know if you're on board with this, I would really appreciate it. Last but not least, I made mention to, I think all of you guys, when I passed these books out, that I dropped quite a bit of money on, the 150, if not more, books that I purchased on this study. Now, I do have a budget for curriculum, but I blew that budget out of the water this year, and I had kind of asked you guys to present to your groups that if anybody is willing to contribute maybe $5 towards the book so that we could kind of offset the cost of some of that, that would be really appreciated. Now, I haven't heard back from anybody on that, so I don't know if you've talked about that yet with your group members, but if you have, if they want to make out a check, they can do so to Crossroads Church. If not, I totally wouldn't worry about it. I don't want that to put a sour taste in anybody's mouth where we ask them to get connected and then ask them to pay to be a part of it. And so handle that delicately, though. And if there are people that you know that would have no problem and have been established members of our church, then usually those people don't have much of an issue, chipping in $5 for a small group study guide. But I think that about covers it. This is, like I said, my 200-something attempt on this. So I hope this works out. I love you guys so much. You guys are partnering with me in what is, the greatest thing we can do as a church. Jesus said, go and make disciples of all men. That's what we're doing. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Feel free to give me a call if you have any questions at all about anything you've watched in this video. We'll talk to you later. Bye.